Susan Kafra, ABC. I am PR Director at John C. Lincoln Health Network. We have 2 hospitals, 20 physician practices, and a community service organization by the name of Desert Mission.
Susan, what would you say is your most challenging experience in your role as a communications person for a hospital?
You know, I am new to healthcare as a communicator, just a year and a half. But one of the things that strikes me is our success in publications and media relations depends on a successful patient story. We really focus on educating others by talking with someone who has had the procedure and has had a good experience with it and can share that with others. So one of the challenges of getting that successful patient story is working with a physician who can use his or her clout to get through to a patient and therefore bring them to us so that we can talk to them. HIPAA regulations require that we stand back, but a physician can talk to a patient and say, if this was good for you, would you help us get the word out? So finding those relationships, those physicians who are doing great procedures, and then getting to the patient are really the biggest challenge for me.
Hi, I'm Deborah Stevens. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for Phoenix Children's Hospital. You know, one of the communications challenges that we face has to do with internal communications. About 80% of our staff are nurses. They work 24/7, around the clock, and they don't sit in front of computers. So think about that as a challenge for communicators. How would you share strategic vision with that kind of audience? How would you give updates quickly and effectively? And what do they need as a takeaway? So those are some of the things that we think about when we're talking about internal communications.
And Deborah, what are some of the other challenges that you face with communicating with such a diverse set of audiences?
Well, just getting the message out to a variety of major stakeholders. We speak to elected officials and business leaders. We speak to parents, current patients and future patients and their families. We speak to nurses and to doctors, our own doctors and referring physicians. And being able to speak to all of those audiences in a very authentic and natural way at the level that they're comfortable with certainly is something that we have to think about every day.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Poole, and I'm Area Director of Public Relations at Banner Health. One thing that I am challenged by at times is internal communications in a company where we employ 22,000 people in the Arizona area here. And these folks work in all different facilities, they work in all different clinical areas, and they work around the clock. Some of them feel very comfortable with electronic communications, and some of them prefer paper communications, and so meeting the needs of that very vast group of people can be difficult. So we have a number of ways that we talk to those employees through CEO forums, through online communications, through e-newsletters, through paper newsletters, and through tools that we provide their managers to get the information to them. A number of our employees also speak Spanish, so that we need to make sure that we're providing communications sometimes in 2 languages.
And Jennifer, what about differentiating your hospital from all the others in the Phoenix market? We have so many different hospitals. How do you make sure yours stands out?
At Banner Health, one thing we do like to go to help people understand what great services we offer here in the Valley is not to tell people ourselves how good we believe our services are, but to allow a third party to tell that story for us. Recently, Banner Good Samaritan was named to America's Best Hospitals by U.S. News & World Report for a 10th year. And so we like to let people know that Banner Good Sam is recognized nationally, not only locally, but nationally and even internationally by a number of these organizations. We were recently rated in more services than any other hospital in Arizona.